Welcome back to the second video in our AirDrop dApp series by Decent. In this video, we're going to be adding an AirDrop button so that when you click it, it's going to automatically run an AirDrop for you to run an AirDrop on your contract. Let's get started. Step one, we're going to get a contract that we can run AirDrops on. We're also going to enable our testnets. We're going to remove all this extra stuff that you see on the screen right now. We're going to keep one of those little boxes and we're going to make it kind of like a button so that when we click it, we run the AirDrop. We're then going to use the DecentSDK to build our contract. We're going to then call the AirDrop function on that contract. We're going to set up some Vercel environment variables on our deployed functions so that we can have testnets on our deployed environment. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to do next, which is going to be our CSV uploads. Let's get started. Step one, we need to find our AirDrop. I have already created a contract. I went over to the Decent SDK or the Decent HQ, and if you connect your wallet on the Decent HQ, you'll see every contract that you've ever deployed. I found a contract where I've got a really high limit. I think it's like 1 million is the total supply, and so this contract I can run AirDrops on. This one is, however, deployed on the Guerli testnet, and let's go ahead and run our app. So I'm already running my app. If you're not running your app, again, you can run npm run dev. That's going to start up your development environment. And from there, you can head over to localhost 3000. Localhost 3000. If I just go to localhost 3000, we should be able to see our current app. And what we'll notice here is that we do not have testnets enabled. And so when I scroll through this, I don't see any testnets. And so let's go into our app where WAGMI is initialized, and we can see that we have these testnets enabled. We just need to add this environment variable called enable testnets. We don't have any environment variables, so to get environment variables, we'll create a new file called .env.local. Inside of there, we're going to paste that variable and we're going to set it to true. Whenever you update your environment variables in Next.js, you'll need to restart your server. So I will crash my server with Command or Control-C. And then from there, I'll run the same command, npm run dev, which should now allow us to have our testnets. Step one, create our AirDrop. We already got it. Step two, enable the testnets. Working on it right now. And we now have testnets enabled. Let's swap over to Optimism Guerli, which is where we're going to be doing our AirDrop. Okay, now we're going to remove all this extra stuff. There's a lot of stuff on this page. Let's remove it. So where we're going to go is into our index file. Instead of start off decent, this is going to be AirDrop starter, a template for implementing the Decent protocol with AirDrops. Test for airdropping with the Decent protocol if they want to change it. Creating airdrops with the Decent protocol. Link to repositories, welcome to Decent protocol. This is going to say AirDrop dApp, not AirDrop starter pack. Okay, once we change that to AirDrop starter pack, we should. Okay, it looks like our server changes are not going to automatically refresh. We've now got AirDrop starter pack up there. The powered by is fine. We want to now remove all those extra things and keep only one. So I'm going to guess that each of these no, we've got one and then the footer. So inside of here, we've got a bunch of links maybe. We've got an A, we've got an A, we've got an A, we've got an A. Is there one that I care about keeping? Let's keep test decent editions, which is probably this first one. It's not, it's this first one. Test decent editions. So we're going to remove everything except for that. Let's see what we've got now. When we refresh, we now see just one button. I'm gonna remove this powered by because we already have Decent logo down at the bottom, so I don't think we need this extra one. Let's just remove it. Less is more. We've got our airdrop contract, we've enabled testnets, we've removed the extra stuff, we've kept one, we have not renamed it to airdrop, so let's rename this to say, whoa, what's that? What happened? We'll remove this P. Airdrop. Save that. We don't need this to be a link anymore. We can now just have it be a div. This should now just be a nice simple button that we can click. Airdrop. It does not look super pretty. We've got our styles card, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. Let's see what's inside of our styles card. Where's styles coming from? Styles. We've got a styles folder. Home module. And this is inside of our card. Well, do we have a button? No, we don't have a button here. What's card? Okay, we got all these rules around it. Let's keep all this. I don't border, transition, max width. Do we have a height? I don't see a height. Margin, padding, color, text decoration, border. Is this fine? Are we fine with this? You know what? We're gonna keep it. Yeah, we're gonna keep it like this. If someone wants to do pixel pushing, I'm not really trying to do pixel pushing on this. So the next thing we want when we click this, it to do something. Right now it doesn't do anything. So I'm gonna ignore the CSS and we'll come back over here. Next thing we wanna do is make our onClick function. So we're just gonna make a const onClick equals an arrow function. And very first, we're just gonna alert hello world. It's going to give us this grade that it's not being used. So inside of this div, I believe, we want to say onClick equals curly braces onClick. Let's see what happens. Nothing right now, but when we refresh, we should now see it say hello world. Awesome. We've got our onClick function, so now we want to actually build a contract using the DecentSDK. We can check out our deploy contract function to see how we're building the DecentSDK over here. So let's do this. We're copying this, bring it over into our onClick function. This should hopefully get our stuff, but it looks like we're missing our chain. We're missing DecentSDK. If we start typing in DecentSDK, we get this automatic import. Chain is probably coming from WAGMI as well as Signer. So let's get chain and Signer. Here we got them both. We'll copy both of those over to here. These are WAGMI hooks. Now it's going to complain that we don't have those, so let's import those with use Signer. It's going to auto know that we need that from WAGMI, and then the same with use network. Start typing, it'll autofill, then you can get that automated network. This is going to say it's potential that it's undefined. So we'll just say if not chain or not Signer, toast. We don't have toast here, so we're just gonna, actually I think we can open a connect modal. Equals use connect. Yeah, we want to say use connect modal. I don't know what comes in from this. Open connect modal is a function. So we'll pull in this open connect modal function. We'll set that as its own const, boom, equals that, fix up our styling. And now, if we are missing those, then we will open the connect modal, open connect modal, and then we'll return. Simple as that. If the wallet's not connected, we're gonna do this stuff, but it doesn't like this. Cannot invoke an object with, okay. All right, I guess if this doesn't exist, we'll make it an optional callback. All right, let's see what happens. So if we disconnect our wallet right now, disconnect, and then we try to airdrop, hello world, we'll want to remove that. I should have already removed that actually. I did not. We definitely want that removed. And then let's console.log our SDK to see if we get a good version of the SDK, the Decent SDK with this. We'll inspect the screen, refresh the page. We just passed 10 minutes. We still have more things to do, so we're going to try to get this done in less than 15 minutes is our new goal. Not mobile, I don't care about that. I do care about the console. We got a solid SDK. Let's try disconnecting our wallet. Let's try airdropping. It automatically pops this up. We can connect, we can click airdrop again, and we get a solid version of the Decent SDK. Awesome. So now that now we need to actually build our contract, which we'll do in the same way that they're doing over here on the deployed contracts. We want to import addition, because this is an addition that we're going to airdrop. So we'll import addition, and then down in here, we're going to say addition.getContract, and then it needs an SDK. It also needs an address, and for now we're just going to hard code the address that we got for our contract. And this should be the address. Let's now say const contract equals, and this is going to be asynchronous, so we need to await. It shouldn't be asynchronous, but it is. Async. And then let's console log our contract. Console.log contract. All right, let's see if that works for us. Let's come back over to our page, refresh the page. Click airdrop. We get a contract. It looks like everything's there, and we should have a mint airdrop function. Mint airdrop, there it is. All right, and it needs an array of addresses. So we've built our contract. We now want to call the airdrop function, which we'll do by saying, I think it's const tx. I actually don't know what we return, equals await. Yeah. Contract.mint airdrop. And now we need an array of addresses, and so we're just going to feed it in whatever wallet's connected. I don't know how to get that, so we're going to go to WAGMI docs. I think it's use account, but it's always good to just know. It's good to real quick just show everybody how. We can find this info. You should be able to go to React hooks, use account, and we want to copy this line. We don't need these other two. All that I care about is my address. Let's try use account. It's going to import it, and now let's try just doing our mint airdrop to that address that's connected. And then we should get a valid transaction, and we can do more to handle that, but for now this is what we've got. So let's refresh the page and see if we get an airdrop. We should get a signature that pops up this time. I want to keep this moving, so we're not going to set in any load state right now. You could put in a loading state, but just know that for now when you click the button nothing happens. I'll probably end up making a video for the loading state. It'll be a quick video. Maybe that's what I'll do right after this for loading state. We got our transaction. Yeah, this should be like a spin or something that signifies that we have a pending transaction. We call this, it was our mint airdrop function, and then we should have a successful airdrop. My MetaMask transaction should alert me of it pretty soon. Hopefully. I mean, Squarely's pretty fast. It already went through. I didn't even see it. And we'll see over here that we should have called the airdrop function. We minted one new token of my airdrop token, and we called the mint airdrop function. So we successfully called the airdrop function using the button that we just created. And so our next step is going to be getting this all deployed and tested on a deployed environment. We've done this locally, now let's get these changes deployed. First thing, I have not checked out a branch, so let's check out a new branch with git checkout -b suites/airdrop button, git status, git add. All we did was modify our page index, git, you know what, I want to make this a button. We'll do that in the next one as well, loading state and button component. This video is getting a little long, so I want to end it soon. So we'll run git add, git commit -m, I add airdrop button, git status, git push origin suites airdrop button. Okay, once we push those changes up, we want to set our environment variable. I actually just missed that. We wanted to do it before. And so we'll do that by going into our env local. We're going to copy the same variable, head over to Vercel, go to settings, inside of our project, go to environment variables, paste in the key. Our value is going to be true, and I want it true for all of our environments, so we'll do it for all of them, and then we'll do save. And each time you update your environment variables, if you want them to kick in, you have to do a build after they've been set. So I need to, oh wow, it's already done. Okay, I need to just redeploy. That was like a 35-second deploy. That's super fast. And it looks like checks are failing. I don't care about those checks, so we're going to skip them. This should be a less than 30-second thing. We've set our Vercel variables. We just want to test it, and then we'll go into the uploads. While we're waiting over here, I'm going to set up a pull request. We can see when we pushed our GitHub repository knew that we have this. So from here, I should be able to just take a screenshot so that people know what it is this PR is kind of doing, because we are building this publicly. Take it and throw it in there. Airdrop button. Fully functioning airdrop button with DecentSDK. Create the pull request. We should be deployed by now. I guess we're not. Okay, checks are probably going to fail, and so then we'll just need to skip them. We'll skip those checks. And now we've got a deployed environment. So I can visit it. And let's see if we can run another airdrop from here. When I first click, if my wallet's not connected, it'll prompt me to open up my wallet. I'll then connect my wallet. Which will then allow me to actually run the airdrop. So now we click airdrop. It pops open the transaction, and then we can sign it. And so it was a little bit longer than expected, just under 20 minutes, but we were able to now add in our airdrop button. So we've now created a website with our own custom airdrops. In the next video, we're going to do a quick video just on getting a loading state in here, as well as abstracting the airdrop into its own button component. If you don't really care about necessarily cleaning up the code and you just want to focus on the functionality, you can skip this next video where we'll be talking about airdrop CSV uploads. Thank you for tuning in.